During any war, people usually see two or more factions going at each other for various reasons. And while yes, those parties are important players, there is a lot more things happening behind the scenes. Aside from the usual medics, mechanics, and etc., we also have other important people that do their own part. Arms dealers. There's an old saying, how does it go again? No one ever wins from war? Well, let's be honest, that's not completely true. Hello audience, my name is Yvern and welcome to Yvern's Box. Today we'll be reviewing the trigger-happy, action-packed series known as Jormungand, a manga first written by Kitaro Takahashi, which would later be adapted into anime form by Studio White Fox into two 12-episode-long seasons. Arm up guys, this one is a real winner. Jormungand follows the story of an arms dealer, Coco Hekmatyar, and her trusty bodyguards. The plot has her going around the globe, running from buyer to buyer and selling her goods. However, as it should be expected, usually things don't go too smoothly and they end up finding themselves in a jam. Now, because of the type of story that this series tries to tell, the experience felt very episodic, with every few chapters or every 1 or 2 episodes usually being a single adventure that they have to complete. And while there are some elements that do carry over from the last adventure, there really isn't a feeling of continuity, and it usually felt very standalone. At the same time, it was very hard to tell if the story makes any progress. See, the goal that the main character Coco aims for is world peace. At least that's what she's telling us. But it is very hard to tell if she was actually trying to accomplish this until later parts of the series, where it becomes much more obvious. And unless you give your full attention to what is being said or written, you might accidentally skim over important words that might actually tell you what is happening. With all that said, the story is very fascinating because it presents us a third-party view on conflict and war in general. There are no good guys or bad guys for arms dealers, only buyer or not buyer. Because of this outsider's point of view, it also raises questions on real-life conflicts and show how futile war really is. At the same time, it raises some interesting social and political issues that exist both within the story and in reality, and it really is interesting when you take some time to reflect. Overall, however, if the story really does not interest you, the plot creates many opportunities to witness some beautiful gunfights. So, everybody wins. Jormungand has a very nice gathering of both cool and interesting characters. Not only is the roster large, the supporting characters were memorable and interesting, and the more important characters were simply fantastic. What does make all this shine though is that they are not simply one face, unlike other animes where a character is set in stone from the moment they are presented, usually categorized as A, B, or C. None of the Jormungand's characters are like this. A good example would be the main female character, Coco Hekmatyar, the arms dealer. Coco is a very interesting character. Apart from being charismatic and shrewd, she also has a funny and quirky side, a dangerous and cold side, and a philosophical and intelligent side. Furthermore, I can't help but smile when such an interesting contradiction of a protagonist exists. I mean really, a peace-seeking arms dealer? Standing next to Coco, we have the main male character, Jonas, a young child soldier. While some might be quick to write him off as the quiet kid, in reality he is so much more. He does voice his opinion when people ask for it, and isn't afraid to speak freely about what he thinks, but at the same time he knows the world well enough to know his place. So while he might give his thoughts, he never goes out of line, unless he's really pushed. Symbolically though, Jonas represents the future of all children that will come if the world walks down the path of war. The other characters are all fantastic, whether that be the villains, the supporting, or the minor ones. They each get at least a single memorable scene, and I assure you that whether that be a chuckle or a love heartbeat, you will love them. The Jormungand anime took all that we loved in the manga, kept it, and threw away all the stuff we didn't like. We liked the action scenes, we liked the story and its hidden meanings, we liked the interesting characters, so White Fox kept that. The anime in one word transcended the manga, and I would definitely recommend the anime over the manga, if not only for the awesome aesthetics. 2012 was an awesome year for beautiful animes like Psycho Pass, Guilty Crown, and K, but Jormungand was by far the one I enjoyed the aesthetics the most. Maybe I'm just a sucker for military weaponry, but I love seeing guns in anime, whether that be pistols or rocket launchers, and Jormungand has a lot of big guns, and other kind of big guns. But no joke, the animation is really beautiful, with action scenes in particular showing exactly what the word polished means. The sound is amazing, whether it be gunfire or explosions, I really can't get enough. The music is not only catchy but also fits the series perfectly, and even if you don't want to care about the story, you can simply watch the awesomeness that is happening on the screen. The 2 openings were amazing, the 2 endings were amazing, and the background music is amazing, and Jormungand really was amazing when it comes to the aesthetics. Jormungand was an unexpected delight for me. It provided more than a simple story, more than a few mediocre characters, and more than shit-ass animation and sound. I would definitely recommend the anime to anyone who wants a beautiful, fast-paced, and maybe even thought-provoking show to watch. Well everyone, this was my review of the series known as Jormungand. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like or subscribe, because it really does go a long way in motivating me to do more of these videos. Like I said before, I will be attempting to make up to 2 videos per week, so stay tuned for more content from me. Anyway guys, like always, this has been Yvern and my box.